I can't eat with my shirt off.
I can't sleep. I have to be clothed sleeping. My dad slept naked. My dad totally slept naked. My dad was a heavyset guy. It was the most free with his body.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, Ray.
What's your policy on energy drinks?
I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan. One thing recently I did. I was on the road. Red Bulls mess up my stomach.
Yeah.
Like sugar Red Bulls with sugar in it. Because there's so much sugar and so much caffeine, they mess up my stomach. But I was on the road once recently, and I couldn't get a coffee, and I was dead tired by the time I got to the club. And I was like, "Do you guys have Red Bulls?" And they had the sugar-free ones, which I forgot existed.
Yeah.
And those aren't as bad, but I don't seek them out.
I was highly against them for a long time. Then I discovered the Celsius drinks, which have like 200 grams of caffeine in them.
What does a regular cup of coffee have?
A lot less.
Really?
Like 50.
Really?
And these jack me up. And literally, like the day after I discovered them, I find out that they are not good.
Tasting wise, or not good for you?
No, they're not good for you. Like they could kill me.
Just decaying your insides.
Like they cause like ass cancer or like all this like crazy shit.
Yeah.
And
you gotta wonder things that are like flavored artificially, just like how remember Olean chips and people were like pissing out of their butts from like the Olean Lays. It's true. Like it was giving you like insane diarrhea.
I know, but pissing out of your butt is tough.
Happened to me yesterday. I think it's a gluten allergy.
Really? You peed out your butt?
I have gluten sensitivity, and I think I'm finally ready to admit.
Get off of the gluten, dude.
I know. But
it's done wonders for my brother.
Do you realize how I'm off a bunch of it, and then I got back on because I was like so bored of just having eggs and whatever else, and meats and cheeses.
Cauliflower pizza crust.
Yeah, right.
Like it. I know.
Right.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. I'd rather just die.
I know. That's true. That is true.
So, but I need to get on like a strict no gluten diet, and I'll probably feel like a new person.
You will.
Yeah.
So, with this though, now, so my girlfriend doesn't like when I drink these Celsius, and now she also there's been new studies coming out about Diet Coke. I'm a big Diet Coke guy,
but that's been known for a while that Diet Coke is bad.
But there's like even more bad stuff that's come out recently in the news. Like they're adding more shit. If you guys been reading up on our listeners, please send us any emails or messages if you know anything about what's been going on with Diet Coke. But it's not good, apparently. And she's been like on me about Diet Coke. She doesn't think Diet Coke's good for me.
You know what we should have known? Remember
she said just drink a regular Coke.
Yeah, but then if you have too many of those, then that's even worse.
That's true.
Oh, maybe. But we should have known Diet Coke was bad because, I don't know if you know, little known fact. Remember the first Batman with Jack Nicholson and when he turns into the Joker? And
wait till they get a load of me.
When he's in the vat and the hands like this going down? That's Diet Coke. That's what does it. It turns you into the Joker.
Just green Diet Coke. No, I wish. Dude, like Diet Coke, the reason you should know it's fucking terrible for you is it's 0 calories and tastes like pop. That can't be possible.
Right, but it doesn't really taste like pop. And it's called soda. Let's not get into it, really.
You have no sugar. You're going to tell me that has nothing in it?
Right, that's why it has a lot of the crap that hurts you even more. So if you drink soda in moderation, the regular soda is probably better for you.
Yeah.
Like people like me who drank regular soda like it was my last day on earth every day, that's when you have a problem and you get bloated and you're 280 pounds.
Well, I tell you this, Natalie's not wrong because as much as this Celsius amps me up, fires me up, like seriously, like it helped me through like a overnight car ride. Right. It like woke me right up. But sometimes after I drink one of these, like an hour after, like my liver hurts. You should never feel your liver.
Well, then because it's trying to filter through all the crap.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I know.
Like a night of vodka or gin or whiskey and your liver hurts, you're like, oh, that makes sense. And I've beaten. At least alcohol's fun and you're just killing yourself slowly.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
One time, me and my dad rode a roller coaster together, and he said that after his liver hurt. I was like, Jesus.
After a roller coaster?
Yeah.
Why did that happen?
He's like banging him around.
Ooh.
He also had cirrhosis, so you know it is what it is.
Oh yeah. Well,
Anywho.
it was already on its last legs. That liver.
Well, speaking of sinners, like my father, I was in beautiful Atlantic City this weekend.
Sin City Junior.
It is Sin City Junior. It's a white trash. It's a white trash Vegas.
It's white. Well, yeah, and already Vegas is kind of white.
Yeah, it's white trashier Vegas. Anybody that says that Atlantic City sucks, which you do hear a lot of people say it, they're wrong. It doesn't suck. It's actually awesome. The problem is I think people go there with expectations that it's going to be Vegas.
Yeah, and you have to temper your expectations. But here's the thing. I think the anomaly with Atlantic City, what I always wondered, I think what people are so shocked at is that you're a city with gambling by the water, and there's so much crime, and there's so much depravity. I don't even want to call it depravity, whatever it is. Like how is it not flourishing? And I think that comes down to Barack. I think it's the people who run the city or just do it in a shitty way. And if I had to guess, I don't know the ins and outs, but why isn't it like a Vegas? It's got gambling.
Also, there are no police on that boardwalk.
And apparently, Connecticut had something to do with it too. They took a lot of business away from Atlantic City, East Coast gambling, all the reservations, those casinos.
Here they go again. No,
what did they do the first time? Get conquered by the white dudes? Wait, what'd you say? The police did what?
There's no. I don't think I saw one police officer while I was there.
Yeah, I think it's just a broke city. There was a rumor for a while they were going to turn it into a college town.
Oh, that would be a bad idea.
College would go there and like bring business and commerce into the area, but I don't know if that ever happened. It didn't happen, but I mean I don't know if it's going to happen.
I mean,
you had a wonderful. You know what it is when people go, like you told me before we started. When you go to Atlantic City, you just have to pretty much stay confined to your
resort.
You're not walking around the beautiful scenic streets of Atlantic City.
Now we did walk up down the boardwalk.
Unless you want hepatitis.
I did not get hepatitis there, thank God. But I did have two firsts while I was there.
Ooh,
my first ever massage.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I felt like $1 million, and I don't know why I'm not living like that more. I need to get myself more massages.
Pamper yourself.
Once every 2 months.
That's not a stress. That's a nice.
That's nice. I said once every month, but
they're expensive. You could cut into your wallet a little bit once every month.
So here's what me or my girlfriend didn't know is we didn't know whether or not when you change if you should go straight booty hole wiener naked or if you keep your underwear on.
I think it's naked, right?
Your booty hole wiener naked. So, but here was my thought process when I'm in the locker room is I'm like, so if it is that I'm supposed to wear or supposed to be naked, I would rather the embarrassment of, oops, I accidentally wore underwear.
Yes.
Than if I'm supposed to be wearing underwear and it's like, hey, this is what my dick looks like, stranger.
Yes, 100%.
So,
and it is naked because they have to work on like the lower regions.
So I went with underwear.
Yeah, and then you got there and they were like, please take off your underwear?
No, she just
worked around it?
Yeah, worked around it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for making the masseuse's job harder.
I mean, I tried hiking them up myself.
They work hard every day, and it's a hard job.
Yeah,
and then you're just like, hey, I'm gonna put a blockade.
Hey,
I'm gonna put a obstruction in your way.
She got paid fucking appropriately.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez, one massage. He's freaking Steve Jobs.
Apparently, it didn't fucking relax me. The relaxation wore off because you got me all fired the fuck up.
Easy, tech bro. You're demanding.
Then when
I go for my massages.
Then the other thing, I got like a really expensive steak. I never do stuff like that. I don't think I've ever paid that much money for a steak.
Good for you. I'm glad that you were able to do that for yourself and for your lady.
It was nice. Now, I did come away with a jerk store moment.
All right, let's hear it.
This is what I wanted to tell you
about. You wanted to spill the beans so much before we started.
I did, because this reminds me of something that you talk about a lot in comedy. I don't think that this story is that dissimilar to when you say that... Sorry, I got like a burp I'm fighting. When you say that after a show when a guy tries to tip you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what I think this is not far from. So I sit down at a blackjack table. It's the last time I'm going to gamble while I'm there for this 3-day trip, and I've already got my ass handed to me. I lost a lot of money gambling, but I sit down at this table with like $200, and there is a lady to my right, a older gentleman to my left, and then another lady to his left, and a dealer. And this guy is one of those old like guys that keeps like calling like the dealer like baby and sweetheart. And
How old
like
of a guy?
that.
60s?
I would say late 60s maybe. And he's sitting next to me, and I lose my money pretty fucking quick, and I'm pissed off. But I ordered a drink in the process, and you get free drinks when you're at the table. So my thought is, I'm sitting here till I get my fucking drink. At least I won something. You know, it was a $200 vodka soda.
Right.
So
Right.
the next hand comes around, and she says, the dealer goes, "Oh, did you want it?" And I said, "I don't have any money. I'm just waiting for my free drink." She's like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." And she gets to the guy. The guy gets a blackjack to my left. And then the lady to my right goes, "Oh, you should have played. You would have got blackjack. That was your blackjack." And I was like, first of all, I don't think it was, because how the card shook out. But I was like, "Oh, you know, I didn't want to play. I'm done." And then he goes, "Oh, well, you made the right choice. I'm glad you made that choice." Like, said that a couple of times. Funny. And then I was like, "Yeah, dude, good for you. I'm thrilled." Right? And I said it kind of like that, not with like too much tone, but a tad bit.
A little bit, just to be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Then he goes, here you go, take a nickel." And throws a $5 chip to me,
no,
slides it to me,
no.
And I go, dude, I was ready to fucking stand up and drill him in the face.
I can only imagine how close this dude got to being punched in the face.
I just slide it. I said, "No, dude, I'm good." I slid it back to him, and then he goes, No, here, take it. And I was like, dude, I said, "I don't want your money, bro." I was like, "I do not need your $5. And then the lady to my right goes, "I'll take it." I said, "Good, here." I handed it to her, like slid it over to her.
Yeah.
And he's like, never turn down money. You never turn down money. I said, when it's offered to me that disrespectfully, I do. Every
Good
time.
for you. You said that?
Yeah. And then he was like, "Oh, the whole table is silent. This drink is taking fucking forever to come."
Still waiting for the
They
drink.
are in silence dealing these cards out. Like nobody wants to talk because they think
Are
I'm
you
like,
a little bit drunk already?
I wasn't drunk at all.
Okay.
I'm like it's like the end of our trip.
Yeah.
Like, this was the day after I already had my steak. I'm full. I'm fine. I'm actually not that pissed off in the moment then.
Yeah.
And I'm like I think that they think I'm like a powder keg ready to blow, though. So nobody wants to say anything to me. And then finally he goes, sir, what, do you have the time?
Do you?
Like, ask me the time, because I think he's trying to gauge how mad I am at him.
Yes.
This old dude.
That's 100%.
So I don't even look at anything. I was like, it's like 11. And he goes,
Yeah.
"Okay, thank you so much. Thank you." And like just won't look at me. And like, I'm not gonna kick an old guy's ass or like snap out. But I did want to snap the fuck out. Like, what do you want me to shine your fucking shoes to? Don't treat people like that, you
100%.
motherfucking cocksucker.
Yeah. And it's always the loud mouths, and it does kind of spill over into that comedy thing where it's like, it's a thing of like, it's a little bit different than there's no power to take back in that situation. That's why I think the guys at comedy shows tip, because I think they can't make their women laugh or as hard.
But
so they go, "Here you go, here's 20.
It was weirdly him trying to alpha me, and I wanted to be like, dude, I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
Don't fucking treat me like that.
And you kind of you bucked the alpha. You got him down to pull back.
And I didn't say anything super mean. I just said that's disrespectful.
It is to tip a random person
And say, here's a nickel. That's how he said it. Here's a nickel.
Yeah.
I wanted to fucking whip it off. I wanted to get kicked out of the casino.
He wanted to be a big shot, and it backfired.
There was part of me that wanted to get kicked out of the casino.
And this is where you were staying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Nice resort. But.
Good for you, for saying the right thing, and not even for doing it. Like, I have said things that were technically, I guess, jerk store, but there was like me just getting too aggravated and too loud. That's the perfect way. I'd be like, "Hey, you never turn down money." It's like, you do when it's given to you like that. That's the perfect thing to say, because it has to make him think and go, yeah. It might have made him go, "I should have done that."
He knew he made a mistake.
Yeah,
so I could tell how he puppy dogged up to me at the end. But it was, dude, that you could cut the fucking tension with a knife, because the dealer wasn't even talking. Like, it was like everybody like started playing like silent blackjack. And I'm just sitting there like, you know how we were talking about like our angry faces?
Yeah.
I was forcing an angry face because I wasn't even that mad in the like it happened.
Yeah.
And then I got mad again later because I was like, oh, I wish I would have just fucking got off.
You know what did it? The massage.
Yeah.
The massage did it. You weren't as mad as you would have been. So you're like, I know I should be madder, but I feel like Jello right now. I'm just moving around and
I had like 24 ounces of steak in me.
yeah. So you felt like an aristocrat.
Yeah.
And you felt like a confident. Like I might get gout from
I
this.
was like, dude, I'm also
Like,
wealthy. I don't need your money.
I just bought myself a ribeye, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a perfectly
It was like I
placed.
saved the bone. I've been gnawing on it all night.
That'd be funny if you just pulled the bone out.
Yeah.
And started sucking on it, and then he just gave you the 5 back. And he was like, Jesus. He's like, are you sure? That's a great great story. I think you always want to say the exact right thing in those moments, but the best way to do it is with a measured, I'm going to stand up for myself, but not an overreaction. That's the best.
I did jerk store though. I wish I would have said something about, do you want me to shine your shoes too?
Like if you're a movie character?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been more fun. I had a mini jerk store that I just thought of, but it was like a holding the door situation.
You should have been there, real quick before
yeah.
we get to that. You should have been there. So you could have been playing blackjack next to me, and I could have been like, I'm leaving. Sean, keep him here.
You motherfucking mutt!
Yeah. Don't let him go anywhere.
Keep him here.
Yeah.
Keep him here. I think his date, is it Ileana Douglas? Oh, Ileana Douglas. No, it's a different date. I think. I don't think it's.
And then I would have even let you say the line.
What?
And then I could let you say the line.
Go get your fucking chime box.
In between, you could have said drinks are on the house.
No. Random guy in Atlantic City. Drinks are on the house. Oh, we didn't bring a scene in.
Do you have a scene?
No.
Blast. I do have an Is This Weird, though. Piggybacking off the Atlantic City.
Let's go into that.
But,
my mini.
Oh,
one,
let me hear your mini jerk store.
It's just very mini because I just thought of it. Is it actually is not even a jerk store because this dude. I held the door for this guy. I was going into like. I forget where it was. It was like a
an
store
adult
or something.
24-hour store.
Exactly. Yeah. It was. And I held the door for this dude. Oh, it was Hot Peppers. That's where it was.
Oh,
it was Hot Peppers. And this dude is on the side, and I'm waiting for him. And this guy who's behind me knows that's what's going on. And then the other guy's not fast enough, and this kid just pops in, doesn't even say thank you or anything. And the other guy finally goes, "Oh, okay," and he comes out. And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that was meant for you. That was what you were supposed to do."
Yeah.
Like, whatever it was. And then I just sat, like, kind of stared at the back of the other guy's head for a while. So it's kind of the opposite of a jerk store. In a
Nobody
way.
understands etiquette. That's the problem.
They don't. And the door thank you thing, I overdo it to make up for how many non-thank yous there are in the world at doors. I'm not told thank yous, and I've got to the point because you kind of called out that it's a little bit petty and it's who gives a fuck, and
yeah.
I kind of took that to heart. So like, I don't say anything, but I'm like thanks so much. Like there's 3 doors to get out of Megan's building, and sometimes you get caught with the same person. If they hold them for you, I say thank you 3 times.
Do you really?
I swear to God, I do.
I do too.
But here's the thing.
There's 2 in my building.
They dissipate in strength of voice and
it's like,
conviction.
oh, thank you, and then thanks.
Thanks.
Or I'll do a thanks again.
Yeah, or thanks again. Yeah, thanks again. Or if I'm in a really great.
By the time I get to the 3rd, I say, "Well, you want a fucking medal?"
You turn it on. That's how angry we are.
That's me.
Like, all right, already. Enough with the door.
I think
Enough with holding the door.
I think in 80 some episodes of doing this podcast, we've driven completely from passive past assertive, and now we're just aggressively angry. We overcorrected.
Yes, 100%. Let's get to your. This is the segment called "Is This Weird?"
You're not gonna like this one because it's a little gross.
So I'm deciding if it's weird.
Is this weird? This is a weird thing. Anytime I go on a trip, no matter where, I can't shit. Is that weird?
No. By population standards.
I'm dookie shy. I don't know what it is.
I'll make you feel better. That happens
So that's
to me
not weird. That
accidentally.
happens to a lot of people.
It's not across the board where I can't. I can. I do. I could be in the middle of Gaza right now.
What? Why would you be there?
I don't know. I thought it would be like cool, edgy thing to say.
Yeah, I don't think.
Meaning, I could be in the middle of a war
Is that in
zone.
a Michael Bay movie? I'm thinking like from.
I could,
from the movie Double Jeopardy?
that's with Ashley Judd.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman.
And Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. No, what I mean is I could be in the middle of Grand
You're thinking
Central
of Along
Station.
Came a Spider. Morgan Freeman is not in.
Well, Ashley Judd is.
Yeah, Ashley Judd definitely is.
Oh, and who's the other one? Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones, TLJ.
Don't call him that.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I sympathize, and sometimes I go and just by nature, but for some reason I can't. If I go on the road and I get back and you're all backed up. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I can just anywhere, anytime. Like I've always been built that way. You know how many people? I think a large number of kids in school, high school, and middle school never chat at school.
I shat at school one time my entire life. That wasn't in the nurse's office. I used to go to the nurse's office anytime I had to go real bad.
Yeah, I think there's like such a
Dookie shame.
yeah. I have my own version of that. I'm older now, and I think age is really making me come out of my shell with this. I would get stage fright, pee shy all the time. I would go to I have a couple of instances that did it. One time, we were driving back from like a road trip with my family, like my extended family, and we stopped off at a rest stop, and they walked in, and it was one of those. They used to have those old school troughs. Did I ever tell you the story?
Yeah.
And we're driving back, and we're in Maryland, and I walk in, and there's a bunch of older dudes. I was probably in maybe 20 or something.
Yeah.
And they're just peeing into this trough, like whatever. And I'm like, I can't do it. And I went over. I got pee shy. I had to pee so bad. Like but I still couldn't do it. I was like, I'm good. I was like embarrassed. I got in the car. I had to hold it from Maryland to Philadelphia.
What do you think was the issue? You didn't want to see. You didn't want them to see your pee-pee?
Where you're like somebody's gonna see your pee-pee,
yeah,
or something like that. Because it's got to be that. And now I'm at the point where like I could give a shit. I'm older. I'm 45, and I'm like I don't care. I'll pretty much pee wherever. But so that's the same kind of deal where it's like it's the anxiety factor to it, but. It's not weird. I'll tell you why. Because I think a lot of people don't do that.
Really?
And a lot of people have pooping issues on where they'll do it.
But it's
only
bad.
Poop at home.
And like my stomach is fucked up every time I return from somewhere.
Yeah, that's a pain. Yeah, you should just. You gotta get
somebody told me to take Metamucil.
Yeah, that'll do it. I gotta start taking that anyway. I think.
Well, another thing, the only times that I won't pee, like in a public urinal, like pee at the urinal part, like I'll go into the stall, or yeah, we'll talk pee for this first. Is if I want to give somebody their private, you know what I mean? Like if there's like two urinals and a stall, and one dude's pissing at the urinal, I'm like, well, I'll go and give him the courtesy to piss by himself. Yes,
that's the reason I do it too. It's also that a lot.
And then if I'm at a comedy show where I'm performing at like a club, I won't pee in the urinal because I don't want people to see my dick before I'm on stage.
I've done. I don't know if this is a known thing. There's an adrenaline poop that happens before you go up sometimes. I don't know if you've had that phenomenon. I thought most people do.
It goes away.
It goes away once you get on stage.
Yeah.
But if you're waiting, you have to go. A lot of times I'll go into the bathroom and go in the stall and have to poop. And that's weird when the club only has the one bathroom. And you're in there and you can hear audience members coming in and washing up until or going to the bathroom before they go to watch the show.
I won't do it.
And you're like, are they going to know my shoes like underneath the?
So at my home club in Pittsburgh, I wouldn't shit in the green room even if I was headlining because I didn't want to like blow it up. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's another reason I don't do that. Yeah.
I wouldn't go in the public one because I didn't want everybody to be like, oh, thinking the whole time I'm on stage like, ew, that's the guy with that smelly ass shit.
Right.
So I would go to the Dave and Buster's next door and shit in their bathroom.
That's smart though. That makes sense.
Yeah. If
I had a thing like that, I would do that. There was like that convenience.
So
is it weird? No, I don't think that's weird.
Okay. Officially not weird.
And even if I did think it was weird, I wouldn't say it, but I don't. Because in the Donnelly household, any kind of bathroom issues were always treated with the utmost kindness. Most things were treated with kindness.
Really?
Yeah, because my dad had stomach issues and all that kind of stuff. So it was always very, very sensitive and talked about it. Be like, you okay? You feel okay? You're good to go?
Okay, then is this weird? When I was a little boy, I still was pretty dookie shy. And when I couldn't do the thing myself, the end part.
Yeah.
Because you don't...
Wipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would yell for my mom, but I would say I had a code. I would say, "Mom, it's a nice day." That's when she knew to come up and.
How old were you? Like 5?
It's like
16?
It's like March.
What's less?
What was this, March? She still doesn't know that I can do it. I just like the luxury of getting my ass wiped when I go
Man,
home.
one massage and this kid just needs to be pampered the whole week.
That's one luxury I wouldn't want.
What, the wiping of the butt?
Yeah, somebody
No
wipe my ass.
way. No way.
But that's what I used to say. But here's the fucked up thing: is my mom told everybody my code.
Oh, so
They'd be like,
well,
why did he just yell it's a nice day? And then
because what's she supposed to say? She'd be like, oh, he thinks it's a nice day. It's pouring rain outside.
everybody.
People, you know, it got to the point like, you get a moron? It's like blizzarding outside.
But everybody knew my code, so like I still get like shit from it from relatives.
Oh, really?
So always be like, Ray, it's a nice day. I know.
Yeah, so it was supposed to alleviate you of any kind of anxiety or any kind of insecurity.
And instead it just carried it on for 30 fucking years. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know.
I think the first Is It Weird I did, was the pancake one? That's the thing. I think that I did that already.
We've done that. Is it weird? We've also done the me masturbating with my left hand. Is that weird?
Right, which we decided wasn't, I think. We did decide it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't have any other. I used to have one. I had one that's not me.
Okay, let me hear it. Is this weird?
There's no debate. So a friend of mine I used to know, her parents, they had friends of the family that they admitted to my friend's parents that they were a couple. They were married for years and years and years, right? Like our parents' age, whatever. And if one of them had to poop, the other one would have to sit outside the door and hold like their finger, hold their hand, hold.
Nope.
There's no debate for that.
That's
just. I don't.
Is that assault? It's assault. That's a problem. The last, and then we could move off of shit.
Yeah.
Is I had a friend that would have to get completely naked outside of the bathroom and then go in and shit naked.
Oh, I've heard of that. That's like George Costanza taking his shirt off. And it's like mesmerizing. And it comes out and he goes, "Yeah, one of those Magic Eye posters in there." And he comes out with no shirt on. And Jason Alexander just has weird nipples.
Oh, man. He does have really weird nipples. I can't eat with my shirt off.
I can't sleep. I have to be clothed sleeping. My dad slept naked. My dad totally slept naked. My dad was a heavyset guy. It was the most free with his body. It was like I've never seen a guy be so not self-conscious about his body. It's a big old belly. We talked about it already. And my friend Jay, we were talking about it. He goes, "Is it just Long Island or is it everywhere?" At certain dads, which is parade up and down the block, topless. And we already mentioned it, but even sleeping, he was naked. I used to walk in all the time and be nude. It was like a lesson. I wish it would have rubbed off on me, but I can't.
He'd just be in there wiener naked.
Pretty much. But don't get me wrong. He was respectful about it. He would cover it, but like.
That's awesome.
Let me ask you this. Oh, this will be a good one. Is it? I know it's not weird.
That hurt.
Is it weird? I can't. Sleeping with your significant other. This isn't. Is it weird? This is more just a conversation.
Okay.
Real quick. What's your go-to plan? Like we run into a little bit of a problem, me and Megan, because she is like cuddler of all cuddlers, like to the point where I'm like jealous of this pillow she got. She got one of these husband pillows, like this long.
Yeah.
And she
it has a bigger dick.
The tag's bigger than my tag.
She made sure it's just like a quarter of an inch longer.
And I'm like, that tag's unrealistic.
You only see that tag in the movie.
So I have a thing where I must look like a victim of domestic abuse by the morning because I'm just curled up like a puppy on the complete edge on the other side of the bed, but on the complete edge like this, trying to get a spot because it's me, her husband Pello, and her, and she's like has the husband pillow. She like sleeps with it on top. It's on top of her, and
what size is the bed?
It's like a queen size bed.
Oh.
But there's the blanket is thick and there's tons of pillows. I'm like, in my bed, it's like blanket, 2 pillows, me, whatever. It's like there's more room, it feels like. But it's just like an amalgam. There's also stuffed animals in the bed because when Owen hangs out and chills out in the room and everything. So like out of nowhere, you're like, why am I so uncomfortable? And you just pull a bunny out of your asshole. So, but she's like, is it weird that I can't touch it all? I can't fall asleep if I'm talking like even have a hand on her. I'm so self-conscious of it. I can't get to bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never
Unless I'm supremely tired.
I've never been like a sleep cuddler, really.
Yeah.
But me and my girl sleep like orangutan.
What do you mean? How's that?
Like I literally like have my arms around her.
Oh my! Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But then what happens?
You can fall asleep no problem like that?
Yeah, well, I could fall asleep in any condition.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
But I have sometimes like halfway through the night I will have to like roll over because like I have like a fucking like pain somewhere from
how you're sitting, how you're lying.
I'm laying. Yeah.
Well, I wish I could do that because I think she'll be like, she'll be like, put your hand on me while we're falling asleep. I'm like, all right, and I do it, but then it always gets to a point where I have to pull it off because I'm like, I won't be able to get to bed. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's from sleeping alone for a few years, but also when I was married, we both were the same type where we couldn't be touching when we actually went to bed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like, is it weird that it has to be no touching, where I can, the littlest amount I can feel it, like I'm in my head about it and I can't. Don't get me wrong. If I lay down and I put my arm around her and I'm so supreme, I'll probably pass out.
Sure.
But if you're like trying to fall asleep and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to do orangutan style. I would not be able to do that.
Yeah.
I would.
I
don't even think it's a claustrophobia thing. I don't think I have that. It's
I like shit like I like a pillow between my legs while I'm sleeping.
So does she. And a lot of people do. I don't. I am a side sleeper, and if I am on my back, I have to be spread out on my back. I have to have as much room as possible. I have to be able to breathe and
I have one condition for sleep.
What's that?
I can't be hot.
I'm kind of the same way.
That's my one condition.
But the other weird thing about it is I can't be hot, but I sleep better with something covering me. So the way I have to do it is, at my house, I do it with just a sheet, but if it has to be a blanket, I put the blanket and then I put a leg out under, which a lot of people do, I think.
If I'm nice and cool, I could sleep in the middle of the Gaza Strip. I don't really know what Gaza is.
You don't know what's going on with Gaza?
Don't tell me.
It's the biggest thing that's happening on Earth, right? You know what's happening.
I promise
Israel?
you. I'm not fucking.
You haven't heard about the Israeli?
I know that there's shit going on, like that they have an issue with each other. Don't fucking shame me. Don't shame me.
But you don't know that it's like a full on war.
Listen, I know that this makes me sound like an unsavory human being, but if the news or the problem is not happening in Astoria, on my side of Astoria Boulevard, or to my immediate family and friends, I don't fucking care to read anymore. You
know what's so crazy is it probably is closer than you think because it's Astoria and it's the most diverse place. It's Queens is the most diverse place on the planet. It has 100 different nationalities living in it. So you could have your own little mini Gaza Israel right on your block and not even know it.
What do you mean?
Meaning there could be Israelis and Palestinians living 2 doors down from you.
Well, let me fucking find out, and I'm going to police it. I'm going to handle it.
You're going to be the states in this point.
Not on my block.
So,
what's going on? What are they fighting about? Jesus stuff?
We're not the two to get into it.
But I know it's a religion thing.
It's Holy Land stuff. Israel was given that land by the UN as the Holy Land for Jews, and the Palestinians said, no, it's our home. We've been here, and It's been like you can call it an apartheid situation. Then Hamas has named itself the political leader of Gaza because Gaza is just kind of a territory where it's kind of not really maintained like a normal country would be. So Hamas is a full-on terrorist organization that led an insane attack by land, air, and sea into Israel and killed hundreds of people. Like people that were at they have all this video of people at this rave. I don't know if you saw these videos. And they're running for their lives. Well,
then I take it back. I take it back.
Take what back?
I couldn't sleep there in the middle of the trip. If that's what you want from me.
I was telling you that.
My God. I try to make one little goof. And then you got to tell me about all these people getting murdered at a rave.
All right. Let's go to an even heavier topic. Love is Blind.
That is what I wanted to get to, and that's what I care about. Love is Blind, the finale of season 5 comes out tomorrow.
Yes, it does. And we could not be more thrilled.
So here is my thing. My cousin, big Love is Blind enthusiast, she's also a big fan of the show, said this is the worst season yet. And I couldn't disagree more.
Okay, here's the thing. So I have a lot of opinions about what I think happened with the show, and it actually solidifies why it's such a great show. Because the fact that because there was a lot of questions about how because two of the contestants or cast members knew each other previous.
Not only knew each other,
dated. And everybody thought, oh, the fix is in. They've jumped the shark, and they set this up. They got them in there. This is all a ruse and whatever else. And I was like, no, I actually don't, because I think they knew that the backlash would be, you guys knew, whatever it is. But I will say this. One thing that I kind of agree with your cousin is, the reason why she thinks it's shitty probably is because not much has happened. If you notice, that's why they had to go outside and they had to do all this stuff with the other couples that didn't even make it, because only 2 of the couples actually end up making it past the first couple episodes after the pods. Like, because the one couple, which was that was a pretty cool moment with, what's her name? Not Tracy, what was it, the blonde? And the guy who was the real cornball with all the American flag shirts.
Oh yeah,
it turned out seemed like a nice enough guy. And then
JP
turned out to be a kind of probably he was trying to back out of things, and it backfired because it came off like a giant piece of shit.
I think he saw a girl that he didn't really want to fuck, and then was like, "Damn it, I made a mistake."
Yeah,
and then he made some weird excuses, and then in his reasoning for his excuse, it ended up hurting her feelings far more than if he had just been like, I'm not attracted to you physically.
Because he was like, you had all this makeup on, I wasn't attracted. And he's like, I can't get that out of my head. And it's like, that's a bonkers thing to say. That's how you know you're a dummy, if you think that's the thing that's going to get you out of jail and get you scot-free, whatever it is. So they're gone. That's what, episode 3, 4, whatever it is. And then all you have left are the 2 couples. You have
Lydia and Milton.
Lydia and Milton, who's like the woman from Puerto Rico who's a geologist who's now going to get married to this guy who's like 24, super tall. Didn't realize how tall he was until they had the meetup. And super tall dude he's a science-based job. I think he's an engineer. And I actually like him more and more as I watch the show.
Me too.
So that's the one couple that's made it, and they go back and forth. And I have my opinions about Lydia. I think she's a little bit wackadoo.
I like her.
And then the other couple is
Izzy and Stacy.
Izzy and Stacy, who are like mean girl and mean guy, it seems like. From the video, from the narrative they're putting forth, from the editing, when they went to that party and the girl Johnny was there.
He's kind of a pussy, dude.
I think he's a guy. You know what's so funny is, if you watch the show, I would be like, if they're like, hey, you want some more to drink? I'd be like, I'm all right. I'd be like, I'll be okay. I'm like, one place that you would want your marbles is on a show, because you can tell at one point he's loaded, he's crying. We've all been there. I've done it. I've been at Patty's 5 a.m. crying to my friend Kevin McCaffrey, probably crying to you at some point about past misadventures. And we've all been there, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's not televised, where you're shutting yourself off in a room and you're crying, and then you have this blonde lady going, what are you crying for?
Yeah.
It's like, she's kind of a hard rock, that girl. She's like a rich kid hard rock.
Yeah.
That really doesn't have that many emotions.
She's
kind
a
of
bitch.
Pretend. She might be a little bit borderline personality, because she really, really comes off kind of like an asshole at times. But what I'm trying to say is the reason why your cousin thinks it's bad is because it kind of not the. They're trying. I've seen how they've edited it. They're trying to make it seem like so much stuff is going on with that. At one point, they have the credit card discussion, but by the end of it, they're like, "Yeah, we'll figure it out." Like it's like, but when the other stuff in past seasons was so much bigger.
There's been enough drama to fill my appetite. There's been enough.
Yeah.
And the credit card thing was so funny is you found out that he's just $3,500 in credit card debt. It's like, what? You like kidding me?
That's why we're not on Love Is Blind. We had to admit stuff in the pods.
Yeah.
How many drinks do you have a week? I don't know. It varies.
What do you mean 520 is a low score? What do you mean?
So here's the thing. Yeah, there was way more element of surprise before. There was more couples to bet on. Like even last season with the black couple that were like in it and never stopped being in it, and they were almost like the control group. They were like the ones like, oh my god, this is working. They're probably gonna be together forever, I would guess. Maybe not, but you know. But the other ones, there was so much going on that you were like, you could just jump around and have crazy opinions. We talked about it on the show. So the thing with this is. Who do you see? Yeah, okay. Is there going to be 2 yeses, 2 nos, 1 yes, 1 no?
How about this? Before we get to our predictions, what I want to do is I want to ask you 5 Love Is Blind questions as if we are in the pods and I'm a girl.
Okay.
And this will take place of our rapid fire questions, which I did not prepare for this week.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you these 5 questions, and you're going to try to answer to make yourself seem as pleasing as you possibly can.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, Sean, is that you in there?
Yeah, I was hoping it was you.
Okay, I have 5 questions that I've been asking every guy to see where I rank them.
Okay, all right.
Well, what do you do for a living?
I'm I work in finance. I'm a CEO of a startup.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What's the startup called?
It's called We're Gonna Save the Earth. It's environmentally based. It's socially conscious. We have 0 carbon footprint. We've saved. We're on the road to saving all the bees. And
oh wow! That
So we're really proud of our work.
Well, it doesn't seem like you were being conscious when you discovered the name for it because it seems a little long.
We're gonna save the world. Inc. We just wanted the message out there. It's about messaging.
Oh.
And we're not trying to beat you over the head with it, but what we are trying to do is we want people to know what they're getting when they go into business with.
Oh, wow. That sounds great.
WSTW.org.
I'm somebody who really loves the beach. So how would you do if we went on a beach vacation, or do you do well in the sun?
No problem at all. I'm really into boating and fishing and just adventures in general. Mm-hmm. I bring a special outfit for that, but it's more fashion based than it is protecting me from the sun so I don't die of crippling sunburn.
Oh, you're so.
It's like I wear like one of those like wave shirt things, but it's more because it just looks good on my 6-pack.
Oh, that leads me to my next question, Mr. Six-Pack. Do you happen to like to exercise? I'm kind of an exercise freak, and I run a hot yoga class. How would you do in my hot yoga class?
You know, I'm really like I'm exerting myself on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So like I would say thousands and thousands of steps a day that I'm really that's part of my repertoire. I really try to have like a work-life balance. Mm-hmm. So I kind of work my exercise into my day, and that's mostly done with my steps. My step count is just on point.
Oh, cool. That sounds like my perfect man. I'm gonna cut it at 4 questions because I'm sick of doing this voice. But the last question is as far as substances go, do you drink or smoke cigarettes? Because you do have the voice of a dock worker who smoked 6 packs a day in Vietnam.
Well, I work hard and I play hard, and playing hard involves a libation or 2, and then I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that it's you don't want to be the curmudgeon that doesn't have a good time.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure. So how many drinks a week then?
I don't do it by weeks. I do it, I do it as more in general. It's really, I don't do like, it's not like a one number, it varies. So I do it like day by day. Like put it this way. Today I haven't had a drink yet.
Oh, wow. It's noon. I did have one more question.
Sure.
You know how big these rooms are and how close they are together, even though there's a wall here. Why are you speaking so loud when you talk?
Well, there is a wall. And
I know, but it's not a steel wall, sir. You did pretty well.
Hey, I don't think this is gonna work out. And
you were my number one.
Is this the outfit you're wearing when we have the big reveal?
Me?
A Nasty Boys t-shirt?
Yeah, that kind of pisses me off too in that show. Is they are always? I get that they're on TV, but they're always like dressed for the fucking like to the nines and the pods.
Because it's TV.
Dude, I'd be in there in fucking
They have
gym
wardrobe
shorts
people on the show.
and a beater, and then she'd be like, "What are you wearing?" I'd be like, "Fucking Armani suit."
You know what's so crazy when you hear about just had stained sweatpants on?
So that would be your angle. You would just lie profusely. You lied about everything.
There wasn't one.
You lied about your job. You lied about your six pack. You lied about how much you drink.
I didn't
Actually,
say,
no. You just.
I didn't say a 6-pack abs. I said a 6-pack, meaning sometimes I put the shirt on an actual 6-pack of beer just to have it handy because you're gonna bring a 6-pack to the beach, right?
Yeah.
So if I take the beach shirt, whatever they call it, the rash guard, and I put it on the 6-pack, I know where they are.
Okay.
So when I said I put the shirt over my 6-pack, I meant to have all my beach stuff in one place.
So then you only lied about exercising.
I did
and
not. I
the
said I do my
financial-
steps, thousands of steps. I walk thousands of steps a day.
Okay. But you said you exert yourself.
I do.
I'm not talking about your blood pressure just from yelling about things. I'm talking about.
We all can't have
Actual-
fancy massages, and the Pearl of New Jersey. I don't know if they call it that. I was trying to make a name for it.
The Pearl Necklace of New Jersey is what Atlantic City is. The Pearl Necklace of New Jersey.
Okay, here's the thing. We got to do the picks.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I think I have a theory now about Love is Blind. When they do the big reveal, so people who don't watch the show, when they do decide and the guy asks the girl to marry him, then they get to see each other, and it's always one of the best. It's probably why the show is so popular. That moment, because everybody's trying to read everybody's poker face as they get.
It's so awkward.
I think going forward, I'm going to do this. You can tell if they start making out, right? Maybe the first little hug, whatever it is. But if they sit down and they're not making out a little bit, it won't last.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's where your tell is, where it's like, ooh, you are both not into it.
What's your diction?
Prediction? I don't think that Milton's going to say yes. I think he's going to say no. I think he's 24, and then also when they went, we didn't talk about this.
The
family. Ooh. His mom is a cold-blooded. His mom is a hard rock, dude. She's pretty. It seems like there's not much. Not that it's not a loving family, but they're not emotive at all. Yeah. And then this lady's an emotion bomb coming into the place here. But I think he's gonna say no because he's gonna realize. I think what ends up happening is he's 24 and he's like, I have to wait now till we get through till the end to say no.
I agree with you. I think he says no.
I think he says no, and I think that depending on what happens in the last episode with the other two, you might have the first ever all no's because you only have two.
That's my prediction. A double no.
You think it's a double no because you think now that's the 5th season. Now that it's there are the people who are just like, I'll go through it because of the show and I'll get the fuck out of here.
But the show, I think, makes them do that. The show makes them do that on every season.
Meaning what? Gets to the end.
Get to the end.
They probably explain to them hey, it's not a normal it's not a normal engagement. It's an engagement for the experiment. So when they say, hey, will you marry me? It means will you marry me for this experiment time?
To decide at the altar.
The altar.
See, the only reason that like certain people broke up before is because it was such a train wreck.
Right.
They're like, if it's such a train wreck, obviously get out of it. But if
right.
you want to see where it goes and work on it, actually buy into the experiment, then do it. But I think it's a no.
You think both
are? I think it's both a no, and I think on the Izzy and Stacy, I think Stacy says no. I think we have a guy no and a girl no.
Ooh, okay. So you think? Yeah, I can see that happening.
A guy know and a girl know. What?
I think that because also, dude, like she doesn't. She came off when she was in the pods. I was like, she comes off like a mean girl and like an asshole.
Yeah.
And then now a couple of her rants during the
She's
outside.
awful.
She's not a great, but she's like your stereotypical like rich brat.
Yeah, and I hate rich people.
And also that father, when the father's like, well, you know, because if you can't take her, I have to. And it's like, well, no, you didn't have to do shit. You could have
Yeah.
yeah, she bought her own house, but she has that backup all the time. You know, whatever.
She didn't buy her own fucking house. He helped her.
Yeah,
You created a monster, you old fucking cunt. But so your prediction, are you a both no too?
Yeah, I am.
We're both no's.
Yeah.
Natalie?
You're being honest.
Natalie, my lover,
Yeah.
she's a both yes. She thinks both are going to be yes.
What's her reasoning for that?
I didn't get it. We didn't discuss that yet. She just thinks that they're
She's
both going to say
romantic?
yes. But my cousin thinks it's going to be a her hot take is that there's another engagement, and it's going to be Johnny and the dude that she said no to at first.
That probably will happen, but that's an engagement.
That's
not,
her hot
and that's
take.
not them going through the show.
Is that
Because
they're
here's
gonna
the
be
thing: the minute you
engaged?
do that, the show ceases. Because they got out and they proved like she probably got out and she was like, he's really attractive and he's nice. Like the one thing they don't tell you in that show is that you're making those connections part. It's almost like if you're away at camp together as well. You know what I mean? They're making those connections because we're both in the same situation. Yeah, we're connecting on a non-looks basis, and then the minute the real world gets involved, it's not just because it's like, oh, love isn't blind. You outside, it's all because of looks or whatever else. No, it's because like you insulate anybody. Like
Dude, it's like when you do a weekend somewhere and you get close with one of the other comics on the show.
Totally. 100%.
And it's like, oh, we fucking did that whole weekend together. And then sometimes you see them again and it's like, oh, it's kind of weird.
Yes, exactly. When two of us are put together in a situation, either you're like, I'm not into this, or it's like, we have a shared experience here.
Yeah.
And that's also why you get along with a lot of comics in the road, because you're like, we already have this. Yeah, it's not pods, but we have we're both comics and it's different, and we have this shared experience. So that's why I think the magic wears off. It's not because they're like, oh, I finally got to see it, and it's not as you're not as hot as I thought you'd be, whatever it is. It's more like, yeah, the real world their families got involved. Shit, I went back to work. I did blah blah blah. I did this. So it doesn't mean that the experiment didn't work. It just means that like. I don't know. Like it's maybe the experiment can't work because you're putting it in the reality show space, and to anybody, there's no objective way to do that experiment.
And they're creating a bubble, like Grease.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Creating a bubble,
like Grease, like the movie Grease.
Well, how is that?
They start off like they're spent all summer together.
Oh yes.
Summer loving happens so fast.
High school drama club.
But that's what. Thank you. And but that's kind of what happens. Is like then you go into the real world and shit's fucking crazy. You know, you might all your bros might just be a bunch of fucking greaseheads who like working on cars and judge you for hanging out with this fucking square.
Tell me more.
Oh.
So anyway. I think I'm with you. I think it's 2 no's. I'd love if we had a good bet on it, but I think we're in agreement here. I think it's 2 no's because they don't, man, oh man, like you don't know what kind of push is happening producer wise in the back to get anybody to go through the regular part of that show.
And my last take, or not even my last take, just my last thing that I have to say is like Lydia and Milton have seemed as though like they've been thick as thieves, getting along really well. And then at the end of that last episode, if you watched it, they have this pretty fucking serious fundamental argument. And it's like
that's the thing, but
like this guy, and that was the only time I ever like disliked Milton. Is like that's bullshit, dude. You met the chick. That's how she is. She's emotional. Not to mention she's like like people are gonna like.
But in all fairness,
that Uche dude was manipulating the fuck out of her.
Sure, but in all fairness, I'll be on his side a little bit on this one. I'll tell you why. Because I don't that's one of the reasons I think it's not going to work out is because I think he's realizing like I think she just wants to get married, but I think and great, of course there's always going to be people, I'm doing it for the TV thing. I'm being fake because of this. She's one of those people.
I don't think so.
Oh, I 100% do. I think that because even when they go to his family and she gives the answer about why she's into Milton, and the sister's like, yeah, but, or the mom or one of them is like, but you had time that's your rehearsed answer, and it's because she comes off like she fucking rehearsed it.
Yeah, but she seemed real. She seemed like she was being real.
I think that based on the Uche thing. And I'm saying I think she's somebody who she really, really wants to get married, and she's form-fitting stuff to make sense. And it's like, oh, this has to work because we connected so much. This was meant to be. This is why I didn't get married before. But when you hear about what happened with the Uche thing, that guy's psychotic.
He's a piece of shit.
But I think she's also the type where it's like, I think she's just like, I just want to get this done. I need to find somebody.
Here's why they won't work, is because she doesn't want to be his mom. And it seems like this dude wants her to be his mom. And it's not going to work on his end because he thinks everything so methodical, practically, and functionally. And she's pure emotion, which is a lot of relationships, but there's no meeting in the middle. Like, I could see him being pissed where it's like, don't be arguing with your fucking ex when I'm like, just don't be arguing with your ex, period. Like, they're done. It's over with. We're getting married. We're fiancés.
That also seemed contrived.
In what way?
When he was pissed about that? Like, it's like...
You seem like he was putting on a front?
Well, no. I just think that I think he was thinking, I need something to talk about here.
Yeah.
And I could be being too cynical about it. I just think that they set that up. They had him come, and then that guy just wants to also be in the mix because he's like, oh, this will give me another chance to be on the show again. And then when she comes over and she's like tries to pull Milton away during that fight, Uche and Lydia, and he's like, I can't talk to my friend. And I'm like, slow down, friend. Like you guys were hanging out. Same kind of thing. It's like it's camp high school mentality where it's like these are my friends. So either you're a psychopath or you're lying because it works better for the TV.
That guy's a manipulative fuck. He was my least favorite person.
You think he'll come back for the last episode?
For sure. He's my least favorite person in the show's history, I think.
What about eye drops guy's not worse? Asian eye drops guy?
They're neck and neck.
That guy, the fact that's why we have so much belief in the Love is Blind system.
Because of that.
Of that thing. That man, oh man, was that a great moment in television when this sneaky fuck thought he was being so slick.
Where does Uche
signed his release?
Where does Uche rank for you?
Hold on, time out for a second. Shit.
We could.
Oh yeah, hold on. You can go. Hello. Oh, you're over here. Okay, cool. Just give me 3 more minutes. We're still. All right, cool. No. Yeah, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. We're almost done. All right, thanks.
We're leaving that in.
What?
We're leaving that in. Show you answer on the phone.
Sorry about that. No. All right, so anyway, we have to wrap it up anyway. But
so you're a hard no for both of them.
That's your take? I'm not as hard no as you are for both of them. I'm a no. Let's put it that way.
I'm a no for both. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. But I wish we were differing in opinion. But I think. How about this? Let's make a bet on this. Will there be an engagement with the other two? An engagement?
Yes, I think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they'll have it go back and forth. That might be the main drama. If the other ones are like actually no, they both go to the altar. That's the thing. The main goal of that show is like we need at least 2 of these fucking things to go to the altar.
Yeah.
And then the other question is, will Uche appear?
I think he will.
I think he will too. All right, we'll find out next week.
And in 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, we will be together live, October 27th and 28th.
Yeah, right before Halloween. We're going to be at Mohegan Sun in Pennsylvania. Come get your tickets now. It's the what's it called? The
Wisecrackers. Come get spooky with us. And find me at Zawodni on all social media. He's at Shawnee Time. Make sure to follow at Brand New Jerks Pod on TikTok. Check out all of the clips that we put on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Brand New Jerks. And let's get on out of here with a weird handshake.
Woo! See you next week, everybody. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.